Welcome again to JMic Virtual Classroom. Since you are already here, I presuppose that you now understand well the meaning, nature, elements, and process of communication. And that's very good, and I'm very happy for that. Are you ready? Let us begin with our lesson objectives. At the end of this video, you will be able to 1. Differentiates the various models of communication, and 2. Acknowledge the importance of communication in one's life. Let us examine some popular models of communication which help us in understanding more the process of communication. Linear model of communication. The first theoretical model of communication was proposed in 1949 by Shannon and Weaver for Bell Laboratories. This three-part model was intended to capture the radio and television transmission process. However, it was later adapted to human communication and is now known as the linear model of communication. The first part of the model is the sender, and this is the person who is speaking. The second part of the model is the channel, which is the apparatus for carrying the message, for example, the phone or TV. The third part of the model is the receiver, and this is the person who picks up the message. In this model, communication is seen as one-way process of transmitting message from one person to another person.
出身はどこ？
イーストブルーだ。
ドラゴン？風に吹かれてる時、あなたどこにいても同じ方角を向いているわよね。
そうか。妙なところに気づくやつだ。
Transactional model of communication. Models of communication have evolved significantly since Shannon and Weaver first proposed their well-known conceptual model over 60 years ago. One of the most useful models for understanding public speaking is Borland's transactional model of communication. In the transactional model, communication is seen as an ongoing, circular process. We are constantly affecting and are affected by those we communicate with. The transactional model has a number of interdependent processes and components, including the encoding and decoding processes, the communicator, the message, the channel, and noise. Although not directly addressed in Borland's original transactional model, participants' worldviews and the context also play an important role in the communication process.
Let's talk about transactional communication. So we'll start with the sender, and then we'll need a receiver. We'll give them a channel, how about face-to-face? And then we'll put them in an environment, how about a park? There's going to be noise with birds and wind blowing, and maybe this guy hates nature and has a negative bias towards people he doesn't know. Now, if this were the linear model, then the message, maybe being dogs are the best, only goes one way. But it's not linear, so we're going to change it up. This is the transactional model. So both parties become senders, receivers, and the message goes two ways with the addition of feedback. So the conversation might look more like, dogs are the best. I hate dogs. I don't think you're a good person. I'm not. In conclusion, the transactional model involves sender-receivers with a two-way message, feedback, noise, an environment, and a channel.
Lastly, the interactive communication model. Simply put, the interactive model takes the linear model and multiplies it times 2 with a quick flip of the return message. It now allows for a feedback element because after message is encoded and sent to the decoding receiver, the roles then reverse and the receiver encodes and sends a response to the original sender who has now turned receiver. It sounds more confusing than it is. Envision an exchange of text messages whereby your friend sends you a message and you respond to it. The same thing happens during a telephone call or even an email exchange. A message is sent and received, then the roles reverse. Why do you think effective communication is important?
Nine, 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 nine,
Communicate well to have healthy relationship, to have a peaceful living, to explain your side well, to motivate others, inspire them, and to boost others' confidence and self-esteem. Wherever you go, whether it is in the family, in the workplace, school, or business, building effective communication is imperative. If you are aiming to be a lawyer, a manager, businessman, doctor, teacher, and so on, good communication skills is one of the most essential criteria needed. Just think, how could you successfully lead your subordinates if you lack good communication skills? Bear in mind, this is a skill. It means just like cooking and driving, the more you practice, the more you will learn and improve. Learn it from the heart, and you will see the result of your effort and passion.